Hello everybody, it is me, Bear, back at it again with another tier list video. That's right, but this time, as you can probably tell by the title, we are doing the Ironman this time. So yeah, also, if you haven't noticed, new angle. It's a new angle. Because I have two monitors now. I have that monitor, and I have that monitor. So yeah, now I got a new angle. If I look at that monitor up there, you can see they got a very different angle of my room. So that's something. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into the, actually, wait, hold on. It says gamer. It says gamer. It says gamer. It says gamer. Anyways, yeah. Hey, yeah, me. It's in editor mode right here. I kind of forgot to include this in the video, so I'm just gonna say this now. If you haven't heard of the Legends mod, it is a Minecraft mod. Obviously, then it has superheroes and Star Wars, horror stuff, and kaiju. It has all kinds of stuff, and this is a tier list for all of the Ironman suits in that. Just wanted to say that because in my last tier list video, some people didn't really know what it was. Not really in the comments, but like people who saw the video and then talked to me who like didn't really know what it was. They were like, "Oh, why are you like, why are you ranking Minecraft skins?" So yeah, yeah. Just wanted to include that this little bit here, just for any context to people who are unaware of what it is. So yeah. So here we are with the first one. Now the first one we got going on here. This one we got obviously is the Mark 1. This one, we saw this in the first movie. This was also in his origin story. All these are based off of the MCU ones. Honestly, I wish there was a couple comic ones. I mean, they got interesting designs that I think would work. Maybe not with MCU designs, putting them together, but like putting them right next to each other probably wouldn't. But yeah, anyways, so this design, I think it's pretty good. But I just think there are a lot more that sort of look cooler in my opinion. It's also kind of weaker compared to the other ones. I know that in the past tier list videos, I mostly based my tier listing off of like the looks of it. One of my friends was like, kind of like a couple weeks ago, was kind of complaining like, oh yeah, like this suit or that suit is like has like these abilities or whatever. So I want to sort of include like some of the basic power levels. Just I don't really use the Mark 1 that often, so I can't really base it off that. So it's still mostly off of the looks of it. I mean, I like the look, but like once again, obviously like I just said before, I'm taking into account a little bit of the actual power of it, which I mean, it's not that good, because I mean like as a suit, not really that good. In the movie, it literally just falls apart completely. So yeah, we're gonna put that in like A tier. Like I like it, I like the design, but it's just kind of weak. This one. Okay, this is like an actual Iron Man suit this time around. Like this is like actually a suit. But it's entirely gray. Honestly, in the movie, it looked a lot cooler. It was a lot cooler in the movie. In Minecraft though, all the different shades of gray just sort of blend together. Like it's kind of hard to like have that sort of like shiny sort of sheen on it that it does in the movie that really makes it look better. Because like now you just got a bunch of different shades of like gray, while in the movie it's like it's all one just like silvery color. And it's kind of hard to get like a silvery sort of color. Because silver is just kind of gray, but like shiny. It's just kind of shiny gray, basically. Like how gold is just shiny yellow. It's kind of what it is. So I mean, pretty cool design. It's better than the first suit. So I guess I could put it like above. I guess I could put it like above there. This is the Mark 3. Next one we got up is basically like the thing I didn't really like about the Mark II was that it was just sort of like gray, just sort of looked kind of bland. This one is like the exact same design basically, except it actually has colors. Now here's something. See, when you think of Iron Man, you think of like the bright red with like the gold. This one actually has a very dark, like muted red with still with like a bright gold, and I think that makes it sort of pop a little bit more. Like it makes the gold pop a little bit more. I quite enjoy that. You know, not really much to say on it. I'm gonna put an S tier, right? I think it's an S tier suit. I mean, it's the main suit from the first Iron Man movie. You know, like the beginning of the MCU, like that. Like this suit was kind of what kicked off the whole thing. You know, and but I think now we have the Mark IV. It's basically like the same. I'm trying to put together words, but like my brain isn't doing that. Okay, the Mark IV. It sort of like brightens up the colors a bit and it adds a little bit more gold to it. And frankly, I mean, I kind of like how it looks a little bit more than the Mark III. Just for a simple fact, just a little bit brighter. You know, I'm kind of a I don't know. I mean, not really. Once again, there's not really much to like say on it. It's just like it looks more like the classic Iron Man suit. There are probably a couple other suits that look closer to the original, like design of it, but I think this is the one that, like, I mean, like, again, it's the closest. Like, it's the closest. So yeah, to like the comic book sort of aesthetic. So yeah, I'm gonna put that above the Mark III. But yeah, you know, now we're into the Mark V. This one actually changes it up a bit. You see, the majority of Iron Man suits are all like red and gold, right? This one is red and silver instead. It's not entirely silver, but it has some of the red in there. Also, it has the coolest suit up scene in the entire MCU. And you can actually do that in the game. You can turn into a briefcase and it does the thing with it. You cannot tell me that that doesn't look cool. So, shut up. If you, that is if you are saying, if you're saying it does look cool, then all right, man, we be agreeing on something, I guess. This yeah, but at the same time, due to like the qualities of the suit, it's also like one of the weakest Iron Man suits, just in general. Like it has a very short battery. It's not very durable. It's very much like not supposed to be like a very strong sort of suit. It's just meant to be something he can whip out like quick. So I'm gonna put the Mark V in between these two. I want to put a little bit more care in where specifically these are placed. While in past videos, I just sort of threw them up on there after I made my decision on which tier. I want to do specifically which goes where in conjunction with other ones on each like row. So yeah, now we're going to the Mark 6. Yeah, I had to count those. The Mark 6, this one adds a little bit of gray, but still has the main two colors. But also has the triangular chest arc reactor piece thing. And it also has this interesting fade across the face there, which only like a couple of suits actually have. So it's a bit of a unique quality amongst all the Iron Man suits. I think this one looks pretty cool. You know, I think this one looks really, really cool. So honestly, I am just gonna put this one. You know what, man? I think it looks really cool. At the same time, it's like I don't want to put like all of these in S tier. All right, like I feel like all these shouldn't be in S tier. So you know, how about this? How about this? I'm going to put the Mark V down a bit in A tier, but at the top of A tier. Well, this one I'm gonna put in Mark V's old spot. You see, I think that works out pretty good. Honestly, since most of these suits have very similar design qualities, there's a bit less to say on it than the last two videos. So, yeah. Now we have the Mark 7. This one, uh, this one is pretty epic. And and what else is to say on it other than that really stupid thing I just said? It has an interesting sort of like design on like the lower torso of it. It sort of darkens up the like it sort of darkens up the yellow which the last suit did, but like I'm just mentioning it here. It so it's more like a school bus sort of yellow, so it's like an almost orange but not quite. It also has like, also the first time we saw like little like shoulder things on the like sort of like collarbone area, I guess. Like this area, not quite on the shoulders, but like here on like it has extra stuff on there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, other than that, there's only like anything like super special. I just I know that adds more like gray to the legs. It's just sort of like samey, Like at this point, we don't really got a lot going on. It's just sort of like the same thing as like several others. It's not very unique. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Now this is the Mark 8. Honestly, this is one of my favorite suits in the mod because it's of a high quality, but also looks like really nice. While some of the later ones, like they look interesting, they're just not like I want that like classic Iron Man sort of feel, whilst also having a very high quality suit. So that like Mark 8 is the one for that for me, honestly. And it also brings back the thing from the Mark 3, the darker shade of red, which like I mean we see it a few more times, but like not super often. I just realized they sort of like copied themselves. Have any of you noticed that? A bunch of the suits I already put on here are on there like twice. That's really weird. Uh, so yeah, this one's going up in S tier. This one's going up in S tier. Now the next one. This is like what like Mark 9. Mark 9. It's kind of getting hard to track them at this point. I mean, now the Mark 9 here, the Mark 9. This one has a bit too much red for it for my taste. I like red, okay? That's why I chose red as the color of the mask. You may think I like blue because of my blue walls behind me and the fact that I wear this blue jacket, but no. Red's actually my favorite color. If you so when I was little I got very attached to Iron Man because of that. But like it's just a little bit too much red, like there has to be sort of like a balance between the two colors. Uh and this one doesn't really have that. It just has just tiny bit too much red, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna put it in like A tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it's a B tier. It's kind of in the middle. It's kind of in the middle. It's not really anything, or yeah. So yeah. The next one. This is what like Mark 10. This is the Mark 10. The Mark 10 actually has three things on it, and it has like a very good balance between the red and the gold. I said three things on it. I meant the three arc reactors on the chest. I need to be more descriptive of that, but I think this one is also pretty cool. Honestly, I think despite how like similar it looks to a lot of other ones, it's still like incredibly cool because of like some of the extra added stuff. Like it has that very comic booky sort of quality to it. The very bright colors, the very like comic sort of accurate like placement of the gold against the red. And it also has like the three arc reactors on the chest, which adds like an extra bonus of like having something unique that I think only like one other suit had. But yeah, this one I'm gonna put it in S tier. I think I'm gonna guess most of these are gonna be S tier. So yeah. Next one up. This one. This one's pretty interesting. What is this one, like Mark 11? Yeah, no, it's Mark 11. This one's the Mark 11. The thing with the Mark 11 is that I'm pretty sure, like the gold bits on like the top of the forehead of the suit sort of like reaches farther back on it than a lot of the other suits, and that is pretty interesting. You know, that's an interesting little thing. It's very unique. Only like a few other suits have that, like I said multiple times throughout this. Yeah, there's sort of like some trends you can sort of see with the suits. That like some of them have a trend sort of starts and it doesn't come back later. It's like you can sort of like put these all into different groupings depending on the thing of it. But yeah, this one, I think I'm gonna put it in like I'd say it's another like B tier. Like apart from like the thing on the head, it doesn't really add anything like unique or like super new or something that I personally think looks any cooler than anything else. This is the Mark 12. This one sort of resembles War Machine for me. In fact, um, during 6.0, I was like, oh, so this one's like meant to be War Machine. What it's kind of not, but yeah, this one still has a very interesting sort of color scheme. Like it goes for a black and silver instead, as well as a tan belly on the suit, completely different from like every other suit we've seen. It like I mean like the actual like parts of it do look kind of it does kind of like if you were if it was devoid of color, it would look pretty similar. Like if all these suits were devoid of color, it would look pretty similar to a lot of the other suits. But I think the color scheme is just so interesting, and I have a little bit of personal attachment to this because actually back during 6.0, back at like I don't know, was actually when I started playing Legends. I joined at like the beginning of 6.0, I believe. And so then this was actually the first suit I got. So I have a bit of sentimental attachment to it. You know, I guess bias, I guess if you will. I have bias. I'm biased on this one. But not biased enough to, put it all the way up in S tier. I think it's an A tier. I think it's a good A tier. The next one, it has another unique shape for the arc reactor. This time it's a rectangle, and unlike all these other suits, all the like if you haven't noticed, all the Iron Man suits have a little have a little like bit of red down the middle of the mask. This one doesn't have that, or well, any other alternate color down the middle. It has like the mask of the helmet, like the helmet of the Iron Man suit has the sort of like widow's peak to it. It was more of a widow's peak in the comics, while in the movies it's more angular. But you get what I mean. This one doesn't have that, so it kind of looks like it's balding. So I mean, if you made that red and slapped some goggles on it, it would look like me. Although I'm not balding, okay? I swear, this isn't my actual head. Alright? If it was my actual head, then how would I eat, stupid? How would I eat? Huh? Alright, well, anyway. This is so dumb. Okay. It has a nearly entirely black suit. There's a little bit of silver at the top of it, obviously on the face, on these bits, and right above the arc reactor. Now, this one, I'm gonna say it's like I don't really like it. I don't really like it that much, man. I don't really like it. I think I'm gonna put it in like C tier. I don't really like it. I just don't think it looks very good. I don't think it looks nice. I don't think it looks nice. So yeah. This one, however, I'm pretty sure it's like the same design, except it's completely black and the arms are a little bit different. Yeah, no, it's not the same design. Just like the forearms are slightly different. The forearms are slightly different. But it's entirely black. It's meant to be sort of like a stealth suit. And, yeah. This one, it actually looks like really cool, in my opinion. I know that like colors and stuff for Iron Man is something very important to me. So when something is literally just one color, you would probably expect me not to like it, but I like it. I think it looks cool, and I think it's a very unique looking Iron Man suit. That unlike the last one, its uniqueness doesn't really look weird. Like it looks I think its uniqueness makes it look better. It makes it look cooler even. This one I'm gonna put as an S tier. I think I'm gonna put as an S tier. And this next one, this one, um, this one actually has more of a comic booky sort of like look to the helmet itself, rather than like the colors being more comic book like with some of the older with some of the other suits. I honestly, you can probably tell at a certain point I stopped caring about which number it was because I don't know. It's just like the level of detail on like the textures and the model and all that. But basically, um, I think it's pretty alright. Honestly, it's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. So I'm gonna put it in the. I think I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Now this next one. This one is also has a lot of unique factors to it because it still has a little bit of like the gold on it, but it's also mostly like the sort of like dark like gunmetal gray sort of color for like the arms and the belly area of the suit. And also has these nice little lights on the collarbone areas of it. You gotta put some LEDs on his collarbones. And this one, I'm pretty sure at least in older versions of the mod you could turn invisible with that one. I don't know if you still can. I think you still can. I think with the stealth suit you can as well, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I haven't exactly used the suit in a long time because I haven't had it in a long time on either of the two servers. This one I think I'm gonna put in A because I think it looks cool. Not really much to say on most of these, but this next one, remember when I mentioned that detail earlier with the earlier suit? This one has that times like 10. This one has so much detail, and unlike the other ones, and with the last time I talked about the massive amount of detail, like this one not only has more detail, but it actually sort of like enhances the look of it, rather than it just sort of like being a thing that doesn't really change my opinion on it whatsoever. It also brings back the wraparound gold bits on the helmet. But one gripe I do have with it is that, uh, like the arc reactor, which is just like pushed out a little bit more. I will add, but that's not the part I'm sort of complaining about. Like the part I'm complaining about is how like the way that the arc reactor is modeled. It's like clipping through itself. It's kind of hard to tell, but like I'll probably put like a picture of it on screen or like a silent video of that happening or something. But yeah, that's sort of is one little issue, and since that's like the first place your eyes go to on an Iron Man suit is like the giant freaking glowing circle on its chest, dead center in the middle of the body. Well, not in the middle of the body, but like in the middle of the whatever. That's like the first place your eyes go to when looking at these things. So yeah, uh, I will put this one. I will put this one. Apart from that, I'll put this one in A tier. And I'll also adjust the movement of all the A tiers. I'm gonna put this one at the top of A tier. I'm gonna put the last two above the other A tiers. There you go. In fact, I'm probably just gonna do that for the rest of these. I don't really need to do that for him because he's still over there. This one is like the same type of chest, same amount of detail, but like the detail doesn't really pop at all because it's back to being like two colors rather than the three colors the last one was. By the way, I forgot to mention that it has three colors, but you have eyes, you can see that. It's not as good as the other one, but it's still really cool looking. I mean, it's an Iron Man suit, so like the cool factor is kind of like the most important bit of how it looks. So yeah. Yeah, man, I don't really know what else to say about this. Everything I could have said about it, I said about the last one. The only difference is just that this one is a different color. So I'll put it in second place on B tier. This one brings back the three chest bits on the for the arc reactor on this suit. Also, this one has a much lighter shade of gold. It's very light shade of gold, and there's a lot less of it. There's a lot more like of a light gray, as well as there is as well as like the main bit of gold is actually on the top half of the face, and that looks very interesting. In fact, the actual helmet itself is like can be split. It can be sort of split into three different colors. You know, in the middle area you got the red. In the top area you got this like bright sort of like gold. Not bright, more like a light tint of gold. And at the bottom, like it feels more like a jaw than a lot of the other ones do. I think the three sort of colors actually make it a very interesting looking helmet. And this is like one of the few times where like the first when I look at this suit, the first place my eyes go is actually the face. Well, for most of the other ones, the first place that your eyes go to is like the arc reactor area and the chest. But this time, no. The first place I look is actually the face. So yeah, it has a very unique looking face to it. I think it looks really cool, and I think all of the just all the things I've been talking about so far, like it just can be applied pretty well to this one. Like all the unique qualities of it make it really interesting to look at. It's very detailed. It's not like, but like that actually does sort of come into account of where I'm gonna place it. I'm gonna put it in S tier. So yeah. And some last minute changes to the S tier, in fact. I am going to be putting this one like at the top. I'm going to be putting the stealth suit right there. Then I'm going to be having like, I guess this one right there. That one right there. I think this is a pretty fair sort of... I think that's good for S tier. Now, we only have 3 left. But obviously it's a lot more than 3 because I'm stupid and I did it wrong. But yeah, I somehow duplicated all of the suits. I don't know how I did that. But before we get to the last 2, let's do the actual War Machine suit, which was added in 7.0. I think now we're in like 8.0 at this point, but yeah. So I think I'm able to, I don't know. So yeah, I believe it was added in 7.0. I think it was, or 8.0, one of the two. It's a new suit basically. It was added in the past like year. You know, it was added at like the tail end of 2021. Well, sort of the tail end of it. Yeah, like I guess like the back end of it. Years are long. It's kind of weird. But yeah, the War Machine suit. If you look right there on my cursor, that's where it is. It's got a very dark color scheme. It's got like like black and a very dark gray, with like red highlights in the eyes and arc reactor. I mean, this one's just pretty cool looking. Also, the HUD is actually green, while the rest of the HUDs, I believe, are blue or a different color. At least although I haven't put on every single Ironman suit. Well, I sort of have, but I don't remember that from before. Yeah, it was whatever. But yeah, this suit is one of the coolest ones, in my opinion. But I don't like it as much as the rest on S tier, so I'm gonna put it like in between these two on A tier. I think that's a good place to put it. Now we're on to the last 2. Just ignore the rest of these. Ignore the rest of those. Ignore them. So this one is actually gold and black. A gold and black suit. It's the only one that's actually gold and black. And I think that makes it very unique and very cool. I think it's really cool. So yeah. but to be frank with you, I don't know. I lost my train of thought completely. This is gonna be something to edit, isn't it? So, I mean, what even else is there to even say? I mean, I think it looks very unique. I think it looks cool. It's very. I mean, it's just kind of just. It's kind of just it. There's not really much to this one. It's much simpler compared to some of the other ones on this list. So I think I'm gonna put it in like A tier. And now we're on to the last one. But before we do the last one, I know I've said that. But oh yeah, before we do this, before we do that, before we do the last one, I'm gonna be sort of reorganizing a little bit of it because I'm not exactly happy with how it is right now. Like for starters, I think I'm gonna move like. I think I'm gonna move like the Mark V, Mark II, and Mark One, like down a bit. So like I feel like these are more like B tier to me, honestly. And and like this one, I don't know, man. I just don't really like the way it looks. I think I'm gonna put it down in C tier. But yeah, so yeah, I just feel like it shouldn't sort of. I just don't think it's good enough to be in a B tier. So yeah, and now we're on to the last one. Ignore the ignore the second list. But yeah, now we're on to the last one. So now this is the Mark 21 because I just finally remembered what that one was called. It's the fully gold one. It's fully gold, and here's the thing: I don't think this was intentional, but it being fully gold actually kind of reminds me of the suit Iron Man had in the first issue of Avengers, all the way back in like the 60s, like 50s, 60s, around that era. And I mean, just look at it. I mean, it's an Iron Man suit that's fully gold. It's like the fastest, most durable. It's the best one in the mod because it's like the Mark 21, so it's the most advanced. But I do think there are more that look cooler. And I do think that even though it sort of like pays homage, sort of, like it looks similar to like one of the classic Iron Man suits, like it just it sort of just like doesn't look like the best sort of thing to me. But it is a very high quality suit, and I think it deserves to be at the tail end of the S tiers. I think the gold looks very interesting, but I think it gets a little bit like too dark in certain places, like in between the eyes, on the shoulders. I don't know, just something about the colors seems slightly off to me. Other than that, it's generally just a really cool looking suit. So there you have it. There's my tier list. I need to fix the tier list. I need to fix it. Great job, me. But that's fine. There you go. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss another video. I have a Twitch, twitch.tv/usablebear, that I stream on every single Friday. And I have a Twitter @usablebear that I'll sometimes post art on. And that's pretty much it. Those are all my plugs. You can, if you want to if you want to use this tier list for yourself, and if you want to rank those again, if you want to rank everything a second time except without War Machine, then you can do that. So yeah, the link to this tier list will be in the description. Unless like the bit before that was a joke, I'll probably fix this somehow. If it's still like that when you click on the link, then I either got lazy or I couldn't fix it. So yeah. Right, yeah, and make sure to comment below which character you want me to make a tier list of next. They're not like a lot of characters that have like a million options that would be good for a tier list, but there's still like several more I could still do. So yeah, if you want to do that, then yeah. So anyways, hope you have a good day, and yeah, goodbye. Wow, I looked really white with that. I am like several shades darker. Why did the camera do that?